say A from Toronto. For this one from north of the border, I'm Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. And Jay, the motto in Canada is We the North. There's only one direction the Raptors are going right now, and that is up.
Ed, I heard it all. Hustle over hype, built for buck, North over everything. It doesn't matter what the battle cry is, this team is ready.
There's a great thing going on right now here in Ontario, and a great game to start right now. Opening tip taken in by the Raptors, and we're underway in Toronto. Lowry to Van Vliet. Jay, how do you even begin to try and describe the whirlwind that is the Toronto Raptors?
Well, you start with the positive. Last year was the first time in franchise history they were the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And here we are, this team still having a chance to win the Eastern Conference again.
Reset here. Let's see what they do. Brooklyn with 4 to shoot to Dinwiddie. Fires the 3. Spencer Dinwiddie, no problem. Contested, hits the 3.
I don't know how he saw his man out in the cut like that, but that was nice.
Fred Van Vliet goes to the right side. Driving right to the basket. From the outside, no good.
And physicality is your friend. Don't let these guys get any easy ones down low. Make them look at the refs, wondering where the foul was every time.
Dinwiddie with the basketball. Down a point. Here comes the screen. Has a look. Off the mark. What on earth was he thinking? On the follow. Way to stay with it.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Fred Van Vliet to Gasol. Lowry. Off the assist.
Strong finish. That's what you need regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Brooklyn with the basketball. Screen coming. To Dinwiddie. Shot clock winding down. Trying to cash in and hits off a killer step back.
It can only be one of two things here. One, the defender ran out of gas. Or two, this dude is just unstoppable.
Fred Van Vliet to Gasol. And too much contact.
A simple touch foul.
Fred Van Vliet. Pascal Siakam to Lowry. 5 to shoot for Toronto. From long range, his first effort off the mark. Gets to the basket and scores.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Lowry with it. They're down 3. Nothing going here on that drive. Lowry, they work it down to Gasol. Using the post to his advantage there, and the finish at the rim.
Old school equals high percentage.
Dinwiddie into the front court. His team up by 1. The Nets now with 4 to shoot. Harris's shot won't go.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was his shot.
Lowry. Well done, Kyle Lowry. 2 for 3 now here in the first.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Play is stopped. Timeout for Brooklyn as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point basketball game. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Jay Williams, kid from Jersey, rooted for the Nets growing up. And where do you live now? Brooklyn.
Of course, I'm following my favorite team, and these comments are probably going to sound biased because they are. But Brooklyn is a completely different place. Only 5 minutes outside Manhattan. It almost feels like a suburb of the city. And the fact that it's culturally relevant, it just feels like Brooklyn is the new place to be.
Here comes the screen. Has a chance. Well done. Kyle Lowry. 3 for 4. Good start.
Man, if we were at Rucker Park right now, everybody would be wilding on the court. Guarantee it.
They love this hustle. To Dinwiddie. Going to launch beyond the arc. Spencer Dinwiddie is going to get a chance at 3 here. For his career, 79% at the line. Off the mark on the first free throw. And he hits the second. Toronto has the basketball. Lowry. And a bad pass as it's taken away by the Nets.
Pick up that sense of urgency. Here's a chance to break the tie.
Here comes the screen. Love the hustle. Sprawled out on the deck. Lowry into the front court. Shot clock off as they look to break the tie. From the painted area, won't go down. Straight on 3. At the buzzer. 1 quarter down. No separation so far. It's all even. Lucky 13s on both sides. 13 all as we start the second quarter. Iman Shumpert against the Kentucky product. Not that time, and not his shot. Across the timeline, it's Lowry. All tied up, 13 apiece. Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. So Lowry. For three. Had to force that one, but it's no good. Shot clock violation. Lets it fly from long range. Misfires. It's no good. For three. Off the mark. No good. To Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, look out.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. It's the Raptors with the basketball. Lowry. Nothing going here on that drive. So Lowry. DeAndre Jordan. Huge block.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Throws it down.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Lowry into the front court. Trailing by 4. And destroys the rim. That's what DeAndre Jordan does. Now the Raptors going to use a timeout as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter. New blood coming in for both sides. Fred VanVleet. Pascal Siakam to Gasol. Off the mark.
Oh, I like that. You got the defense rotating from side to side. They're even recovering late, but still you got to make that one.
A scary sight. DeAndre Jordan with the putback slam.
That's a DJ we all know and love.
Toronto with the basketball. Fred VanVleet. Probing the defense. Fine to shoot. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
Doesn't have the touch. No good.
And it's never a great thing when you're talking to yourself the entire next possession about the shot you just missed. Now you know you're in that player's head mentally.
Here comes the screen. Brooklyn with 4 to shoot. Down low to Jordan. Shot from the lane won't go. Has a look. And it's Jordan there for the rebound. Knocks knocks it down off the step back.
Did you see the distance between him and the defender? You could pretty much put a department store between the two.
Prices coming down. Fred VanVleet to Gasol. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
Now a steal as the Raptors have it. Fred VanVleet to Gasol. Ah, the monster stuff.
Some players are so cerebral. I'm not even paying attention to the dunk as much as I'm paying attention to the player pointing and communicating to everybody his team needs to guard on the next play down the court.
Now the Nets going to take a timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. To Jordan. To Dinwiddie. Marc Gasol pins it. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Marc Gasol. On the shot clock. Lets it fly from beyond the arc, and the rebound taken by Gasol. Here comes the screen. The drive right to the basket. Down the lane, but the shot won't fall.
It's easy for the offense to get agitated when you keep turning around and the defense is right there in your face. The jawing is only going to escalate.
Goes to the left side. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. And a putback slam. Long key from 3/4 court. First half comes to an end. The Nets have the lead.
It's Jalen Rose, and I've got your EA Sports halftime report. These are the guys getting buckets for the Brooklyn Nets. The Raptors have got themselves in a bad situation that seems likely to only get worse. There isn't enough time to get into all of their problems, but I'll tell you this, they need to try to get better. Have a look at the leading scores for the Toronto Raptors.
Game track. Bench points.
The Toronto Raptors are getting enough bench production in this contest. Their reserves need to step up and start making an impact in this game.
Player of the half.
DeAndre Jordan has been a defensive force in this matchup. If he's not stealing the ball, he's swatting it. And that combination has made for an incredible half.
Who was cold?
Forget cold. This guy will be happy to be lukewarm at this point. He can't seem to get anything going. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Jay, 28 wins a year ago for the Nets, but a couple of individuals, they shined in their playing time.
8 wins better than the year before. And think about Jared Allen for this team. He is a new age 5, has the versatility and the speed to run the court. And then you think about a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, who actually got drafted in the 2nd round and actually gambled on himself, had a horrific knee injury. To see the kind of minutes due to the injuries that he played and the level that he played at, Ed, this team is on their way.
Trying to cash in. Lowry with a shot that's no good. It's Brooklyn's ball. To Dinwiddie. Surveys the floor. Screen coming. Beyond the arc for 3. Tough shot for Dinwiddie. No good.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
And the rebound taken down by Harris. To Dinwiddie. That pass taken away by Toronto.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
Nets have it. And a 5-second back to the basket violation is called. Fred VanVleet to Lowry. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Dinwiddie with the basketball. Up by 6. Here comes the screen.
Screen coming left.
To Dinwiddie. Has a chance. Deep 2 there. Won't go.
They've been getting open looks, makeable shots that just can't find their way in, but it makes these next few offensive possessions down the stretch even more important.
And scores.
Did you see that change of direction mid-flight? And also the English he utilized to spin the ball off the rim? That was a thing of beauty.
The Nets now with 4 to shoot. Fires the 3. Spencer Dinwiddie, no problem. Contested, hits the 3.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is a brilliant offensive display. You have ball movement, player movement, and great shooting to top it off. You get those three things going, you're going to be a dynamic offensive unit.
Nothing going here on that drive. A pass stolen by the Nets. Missed it. He always has the green light, but the defense was ready.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Lowry to Van Vliet. Here comes the screen. Fred Van Vliet to Lowry. From the outside, no good. Nets have the basketball. Here comes the screen. Brooklyn with 4 to shoot. Here's a chance from long range. Tough shot. Well defended.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Fred Van Vliet. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Siakam trying to cash in on the three-point play. His career mark right now sits at 63%. Off the mark on his free throw. Brooklyn's got it. Probing the defense. The Nets now with 4 to shoot. Fires the three. No good. That's great defense.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
To Gasol. Around the perimeter. Johnson to Gasol. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
I'm laughing because when you look at Marc Gasol, he's not the fastest big guy in the game. He's not the smoothest, nor is he the best shooter. But you know what he is? He's prepared and he's experienced. That's why he can get you 17 to 18 to 19 points per night or more, and you get a tough low post presence.
Deep three at the buzzer. 3 quarters complete with the Nets in front. Raptors ball as we get going here in the 4th. They trail to this point, but you'd have to say this one's up for grabs.
And the new style we play with in this league, all it takes is 3 quick threes, and you're right back in the ballgame.
Marc Gasol looking good, 4 for 5.
Ed, I have so much admiration for guys that continue to hunt their shot. They're playing the second half like it was the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Those natural-born leaders are guys that will consistently lead your team to the promised land.
To Dinwiddie, kicks it around the perimeter. Couldn't keep it in. Out of Spencer Dinwiddie. Fred Van Vliet. Brooklyn with the basketball. To Dinwiddie. The screen sets him up for 2.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
Fred VanVleet to Stanley Johnson. Fred VanVleet to Ibaka. The Raptors down to 3 on the shot clock. Not that time. He missed it. To Jordan, down low. Stuffs it down with authority.
We're watching a clinic right now. We're watching basketball one-on-one. Whoever this professor is, he needs to get paid top dollar.
Fred VanVleet. Took it down the lane, but it's no good. To Ibaka. Johnson. To Powell. From long range. Offensive ball. Slams it home on the putback.
If you know anything, it comes down to who wants it more. And right now, the offense is just hungry.
Play is stopped. Timeout for Brooklyn. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game.
The difference is going to be the best player on the court. He's a guy that you have to trust in. He has to get the ball. And sometimes as a coach, you need to let go and let your best players do what they do.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. To Jordan. Serge Ibaka able to recover with the block.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him. Dinwiddie into the front court. Leads 5. Here comes the screen. Now to Jordan, down low. Serge Ibaka with the block.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Knocks it down. That was a tough shot.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Lowry goes to the right side. Here comes the screen. To Ibaka. 5 to shoot for Toronto. Well done, Kyle Lowry. He's 5 for 10, shooting 50%.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
A shot no good by Harris.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jump.
Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. Short jumper off the mark. Dinwiddie with the basketball. Up 6. And he throws it down. Power play by DeAndre Jordan. Now a whistle, and Toronto's going to use a timeout. That's their first of the final 3 minutes. That leaves them with 1 remaining. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Fred VanVleet to Gasol. A drive down the lane, but the shot stays out. Dinwiddie into the front court. It's an 8-point lead. To Jordan. Knocked loose. Taken by the Raptors. Fred VanVleet to Gasol. Fred VanVleet to Gasol. 5 seconds to shoot. Gasol to VanVleet. Going to launch beyond the arc. VanVleet denied. Have to like the defense.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Short jumper off the mark.
And it's never a great thing when you're talking to yourself the entire next possession about the shot you just missed. Now you know you're in that player's head mentally.
It's the Nets who are victorious as they get a good win on the road. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. When you look at these highlights, you can see how this team was able to earn the victory in this matchup. Great game by this squad. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Brooklyn Nets. The Raptors couldn't put it together to get the victory here today. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Toronto Raptors.
Game track. Bench points.
The Brooklyn Nets can confidently say it was a big reason, if not the biggest reason, for their success today. Tremendous job by the reserves to be impactful in this matchup.
Player of the game.
DeAndre Jordan seemed to think he could only score points with dunks in this game. Again and again. He kept throwing them down, and it was just astonishing.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
See y'all next time. Jalen Rose signing out.